Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Hold on. Let me make this better. Okay, Idris, you come over to my right.
This way?
Well,
This way?
well, just so
Yeah.
you're in the middle. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, let me do like this. Let me like pan out a little bit and adjust the perspective so that I look cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
And can you read the little words that are now so tiny? They're off in the distance.
I can see because I have my glasses on.
Oh, okay.
Well, some of us don't have our glasses on.
Well, I have mine on, but it's
I have
still
mine
kinda
on. These
hard
are
to
my
see.
reading glasses. Well, do you want this to be like brighter?
Oh, that's helpful.
Yeah. I kind of keep it dark because I have sensitive eyes. Hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Want to see what my shirt says?
Okay, wait. So, hi. My name is Imani, and what's the date? So, hey, everybody, you guys
October
have 2
19th.
months and 11 days until what? My birthday. Okay, just want to get that out of the way. Also, my mom came over here, and though she was slightly getting on my nerves, it's fine because I'm not wearing a bra. I smoked a joint, and I just drank a little bit of a Bloody Mary. So, welcome to Monday. Your shirt.
I have a blanket on my head.
I mean, yeah.
This shirt, which was given to me, it arrived a few days ago. Everything.
Who gave it to you?
Deb Elam, my girl from New Orleans.
Oh, okay.
Right. But the thing is that notice these colors, right? So what are the colors?
Not
for?
everyone knows what the colors are.
For you, I'm talking to you.
I know what they are. They're New Orleans colors.
Exactly. So it says
Purple, green, and yellow.
But the problem is the yellow part is so light you can't read what it says.
Hi, Spicy Mama. See? Yeah.
So it says everything you love about New Orleans is because of Black people.
Yeah. Well, we know that. I mean, I feel like even white people down there know that.
And this shirt was, I have to turn around a little bit if I can.
Should this light be brighter?
It's too bright. What, that bright?
Yeah.
That light is too bright.
It's
for my
not.
eyes. It says Crew of Muses. Muses. So
Would you like to spell
that's
crew? Would you like to spell it?
Krewe.
And what is that emblematic of?
So the crew in New Orleans is the sort of club, the gathering of people who sponsor a float.
It's a crew,
or
like
a number
your crew.
of floats, right? And they have, 100 floats during Mardi Gras or more. And some crews have more than one float. I was very excited about 10 years ago because Deb Elam, my girl, who's a member of the Crew of Muses, she invited me to be a guest on the float. And I had all kinds of beads and doubloons and cups and stuff.
What's a doubloon? I don't know what that is.
A doubloon is the coin from back in the days of the 1800s. Doubloon, a doubloon. And they have the pretend doubloons. You know, when you used to eat the chocolate, what were they called?
I don't like
coins?
chocolate. Yeah, I know them.
Those,
I don't like
I'm
chocolate
talking
like
to
that.
the people.
They don't like chocolate like that either, so.
Those chocolate coins that were gold. So those are kind of what doubloons look like. And
a doubloon? What's that?
And there was a time when they didn't let Black people participate
I know what they are.
on the floats during Mardi Gras. So you had, at a period when you had like the crew of Zulu, right? So the Zulus, they would break in.
This story is kind of long.
They'd break in to the white people's parade of floats. And so when I was on the Muses float, my brothers-in-law and my sister-in-law told me that white people on the floats frequently were not throwing the beads and the doubloons to Black people, right? So I had
I'm not surprised.
Gobs and gobs and gobs of the stuff. You know, when they scream, "Throw me something, mister," that's what you say, "Throw me something, mister." So me and Deb are on there side by side. And I spent the first probably hour and a half not saying a word, but finding Black people in the crowd. And I'd point to them down like that because I'm up on top of the float. And I would throw stuff to them.
You know what? You know what?
You're on the floor.
This story is entirely too long.
That's
like,
what
oh
you
my
get
God, no.
for-
Like, can we? Okay, and so in summation.
And so in summation,
Jeez.
it has only been in modern times that Black people have been allowed to participate on the floats during Mardi Gras, and that Black people have had their own crews that could participate. And that's why I'm very proud to wear this shirt that says, everything you love about New Orleans is because of
Me.
Black people.
Okay, great
My husband's
story.
from New Orleans.
Great story. Okay, perfect. Okay,
I love chocolate.
Okay,
That's what
you're not
Angela
okay. I'm
Davis said.
I'm gonna do like this so you can't see people's comments because I'm trying to say stuff and then you just interrupt me like that.
I'll put the comments back.
Put
No,
them back.
Put them back.
are you gonna overtalk me?
We live in a democracy, and I vote.
This house is not a democracy. This house is a dictatorship. Okay.
Communism.
So actually, it's not. It is an authoritative versus authoritarian. It's authoritative. I'm an authoritative. Like I'm a beneficent ruler.
No, you're not.
I really am. I look out for everybody. You're the one who said I'm not a kind person and I just want to stomp my foot in everybody's face. That's what you said.
Who's the one who's always turning the camera away?
Because you be
when they cooperate.
He has things
There you
to
go.
say.
Well, you know what? I have things to say too. Okay, so on a better note, let me like make this look nicer for me.
See?
Okay,
It's for her.
so let's talk about like, real news. Okay, because as far as like the news is out, it's whatever. Let's talk about Cardi B and Offset got back together.
I don't know what that is.
Yes, you
I
do.
know Cardi B.
Offset's her husband. Okay,
Okay.
so thoughts.
Me.
Do I have to have thoughts
Yes,
about this?
you do, because Cardi B is awesome.
Cardi B's okay.
Well, does that mean that Offset is awesome? If
I
she
like
keeps going,
Migos.
calm down. My question to you
Nope.
is, does that
I'm about to
mean
play Bad and Bougie
that
for the next like 50
Offset
minutes if
is-
this is
That's
all
it.
we're gonna ask.
Well, is Offset
That's
awesome?
what-
Because if you love Cardi B and she keeps going
I mean,
back
I don't
to
know him like
he
that.
can't be a throwaway.
Well, but he also like bought her. What did he? I told somebody
Well, is it all? I don't know. There's
he
always
bought
about
her
money.
like he
Who
bought
cares
her.
what he bought her? She got money. She can buy her own shit.
Okay, you know what? Yes, she does, and she actually said that. That's why I was going to talk about it. But you want to be all stank faced today, and so it's fine. So look, this is what happened. So apparently Cardi and Offset, they split up again, whatever. But then somebody like outright said on Twitter, like, yo, it's obvious that Offset is an abuser. And Cardi wrote back and was like, first of all, no, he's not. 1, 2, and I don't know. 2, I mean, she don't have to drive. She got money. 1, he's not an abuser. 2, she was like, if I want to get back with my man and dump him and get back with my man and dump him, then that's her bit. She's like, I got houses. I'm out here. If I don't want to be around him, I can file for divorce if I want to, which seems a little bit egregious, but whatever.
I think that
Here we go.
in many instances, it is really best for people to stay out of grown folks' business.
I'm sorry. I'm on a reality show.
Uh,
what does that mean?
I'm saying
That's the point.
nobody knows what goes on.
You had a whole
between
lot to
them.
say about what's the name? Megan Thee Stallion, your best friend.
Getting her feet shot up.
Yeah, that's other people's business. But then here you are. Don't even try to act like because
I wasn't deconstructing it.
What were you saying?
I was not deconstructing what was going on with Megan Thee Stallion. I applauded her.
But that's
For
still
filing
somebody else's
charges.
business. It's no different between
There-
Cardi B and Offset.
Oh, one is a criminal complaint and one is not.
Who's Megan Thee Stallion?
Oh my God, I'm the worst parent. Jesus.
You are.
Okay, you know what? This is over now. I'm legit about to go upstairs.
I know many things.
So the point about this is that when we were talking about Megan Thee Stallion last week, it was because that dude pulled out a gun and shot her.
This is how I feel right
Okay.
now. Just like
On the
this.
other hand,
Hey everybody.
what's his name? Offset.
Yes.
Offset and Cardi B have a child together.
Her name is Culture with the K.
They made
Get it right.
They made a commitment to each other. Maybe they haven't finished working it over and working it out, and
Yeah, so
maybe
what?
she's not convinced that it's over.
Well,
And
yeah.
so, okay. So look, until or unless somebody says something about somebody getting beaten up or whatever, it's like, you just gotta let them do what they're gonna do, which
What-
is what many of the people who.
But look at
Who are
this.
walking
Oh,
the
we're
planet
definitely
do
in
that.
Cardi's business because she told us. Exactly. Like she told us. Nobody was like snooping around.
I'm not saying don't listen. I'm not saying don't talk about her or don't discuss her. What I am saying is if she goes back and forth with him, back and forth, and there are so many women out here who think she is amazing, I would give her a little bit of credit. If she's amazing, then let her be amazing in how she's deciding to deal with this man.
Okay.
Maybe she hasn't lost her mind. Maybe she's,
Idris, you saw the Lovecraft finale?
Yep.
Okay, you finished it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody who hasn't seen Lovecraft finale needs to like go.
For like 5 minutes.
Wait, what?
For
For
5
5 minutes. I
minutes.
thought you said you only watched 5 minutes.
No.
Okay, how dope was the ending? Lovecraft. How dope was that? You saw it?
I saw it.
The ending was alright.
The ending was great. She had her own monster and everything.
She did, and that monster.
And
was,
she's Terminator now. Yo, D is Terminator now. Hold on, my
Was that
glasses are
monster the
straight.
what? Was that monster white or that
was
monster was
black.
black?
That monster was black.
It was
Right.
Tick's monster.
It was Tick's monster. Oh my God. I kind of feel
So was
like
it Tick's daddy?
No.
Was it the uncle who came back?
No, Tick just had
No.
a slug
as a
off.
monster? No,
White people
no one
were
came back
breeding
as
slug offs, and that's why there was white slug offs. But Tick casted a protection spell, which he
I didn't even notice
He
that.
didn't. Oh, well, he had a black slug.
I mean, all I saw was an amoeba thing with eyeballs. I wasn't really paying
a
attention to the
slug
color.
off is a thing in the Lovecraft.
It's the monsters.
It's the monsters with many rows of teeth and eyes all over.
They're
the
like,
place.
so apparently, like I went down a Google rabbit hole, and apparently Slogos, if that's how you pronounce it, in the actual fiction, they're supposed to be like amorphous amoeba eyeball things. But I mean, for TV, you want to like,
If you want to learn more,
So,
about
you know
it,
what I
can
was-
go to the wiki on fandom.
wiki on fandom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I was it was fascinating. So at one point she had the shriveled up burned hand.
Oh my God.
And
I
then
was
at
like,
the end,
no.
she had like a Terminator hand.
Where, first of all,
I don't
did
know where
her
that
mom
came
make
from.
that?
I don't know.
I think her mom made
But
it.
what I don't know is when she was sitting, and why didn't leave her alone again?
I was just about to say that. I was like, these adults on Lovecraft, they need- please call DCFS on Tick, Letty,
in the book, in the car by
Hippolyta,
herself.
and Montrose,
And they
because
knew
these
there were
are the
gonna be
worst
monsters out
parents.
there.
These are the
I was
worst
like-
parents. Right. It's like, you
I
know
don't
what?
think they like her.
No, they were like, you know what? Here's the thing. We're gonna go fight these monsters. Stay in this old car from the 40s
With your book.
with your book and
With
a
your book
flashlight
and a
and no
flashlight.
type of weapon
And
by
then you start
yourself
hearing a noise.
when we know there's
Hearing a
slogos all over the
noise.
place.
Yeah, but the slug offs are also attracted to light, so that's another like.
But that's what, no, they're not attracted to light.
Well, like they are, like if there's.
They're
like,
repelled by light. I
They
thought they
don't-
were. I
they're
thought they were
repelled
repelled
to it,
by.
but they're like, what's that over
But
Well,
that was a little light. She had a little flashlight. That wasn't a big light.
I mean, if you saw a flashlight, you would probably be like, oh, what's that over there?
I mean,
so
I
here's
would.
what I'm saying. Her mama walked away from her.
They brought this up.
Uncle, cousins, you name it. And listen, baby, you stay here in this car and this book this comic book
You
thing
with your one arm.
is going to protect you.
That was fine last week. No, but you know what I did like a lot about the episode is that Dee was like, "Yo, you like left me."
Oh,
yo."
she was
like,
unrelenting.
"You left me,
I'm not forgiving you.
and
for
I'm
that.
and this is whack." That's probably why she got a Terminator arm.
No, like she got.
But I don't know where she got it from.
I know, but I'm saying her
mom
mom,
gave it to
her
her.
mom probably built it for her. Like, I'm sorry, I left you. Here's a new
No,
arm.
but she had to.
So here's what I want to ask. When they were sitting in the car singing Shaboom,
Yes,
right? So they're all singing Shaboom. And the last one, what's his name? Montrose is the last one who finally breaks down. He's all right,
Right,
all right,
Shaboom, whatever.
I'll sing.
Mm.
But when all that was going on and they're singing Shaboom, how come I didn't get no glimpse of the Terminator arm?
Because
She
that
was
the big
hiding it for the
buildup.
finale.
She wasn't hiding it for the. Okay, first of all, in the whole last scene, her Terminator arm was not shown. You could not see like her burnt up
Right.
arm, which was building up that something happened to it. So like her mom could have just given the
See,
arm.
look, it says her mom said, "I'm gonna help you draw again." So she created the arm for her. That's what I thought. I'm like, if Hippolyta's flying around into different timescapes, I figure she can come back and know how to build an arm.
Well, when that woman said, what'd she say?
I don't know.
Christine, help me leave, help me or whatever. And Dee had this look on her face
like, oh,
no, the look was, bitches, you crazy.
What?
Well, okay.
And
Let's.
she put that Terminator hand and squeezed it until her head popped.
I know, but I thought she
It
was
was like-
immortal though.
No, she's
No,
not
that-
immortal.
they-
That's the
they
whole
killed
thing.
They
the
broke
spell.
it.
They killed the spell.
Oh.
She said, remember
They were
remember
chanting.
Tick's mother said, you're going to save all black people?
You're gonna save all of us.
You're going to save all of us.
That was
And then the closing line was, the woman said, you took away my magic, or something about my magic. And what Dee said was like something like only black people have magic now, or something.
Letty
like that.
at the end said only black
Yeah,
people have magic
that's
now.
what it was.
But
Right.
the final ending part was you don't know, like you still haven't learned. And then,
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, time out. Can we talk about Ruby, please?
What happened to Ruby?
Yo, Ruby,
Ruby is doing too much.
Ruby, listen. First of all,
So Ruby fell in love with Christine.
I mean, or whatever her man name, her when she's a
Man.
William. It was
William, yeah,
But William
Has been dead.
is a comatose invalid.
And she asked, have you ever done this before? No.
No.
And then they cut away. So it's up to our imaginations at what happened with Christine and Ruby.
Right.
But
Christine's dead, and I thought that they were gonna do something where they would just leave her there immortal, and she would.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. It's
what's the
like,
most disgusting thing that happened last night? What was the most disgusting thing?
Nothing. I liked it.
Oh, I got one.
What was the most disgusting thing last? Hold on. Don't say anything yet. Hold on. Let me think.
The furry tentacles from them.
Nope, that's not disgusting.
Well, it's for me. It was
Okay, what was
awkward.
disgusting? Here we
The
go.
most disgusting thing was the beautiful creature known as Tick eating.
Oh, that man's skin, that man's little titty.
Was that what that was?
I think he
He
cut it
pulled
off
a
his.
piece out of, I thought
yeah.
it was out of his chest.
I was doing.
Yeah,
I thought it was
like covered with
So
skin or
there was
something.
that, and then he thinks he's drinking Christine's blood, but
Blood.
it turned out to be Ruby's blood. It turned out to be Ruby's blood.
I don't know.
Because
There was a lot going on.
yeah, and
Okay.
And I said to myself, I'm gonna need to watch this again, but I don't know that I can bring
I
myself.
think-
I don't even understand. You guys are
I
like.
didn't even watch that part because I was doing homework that time. But I think that
You can't do homework with that.
Was that you really tried to flex, Idris? But go ahead.
I think that
Oh, you're doing your homework today because I saw it yesterday. Okay.
Letty's very.
Okay. Can we
Okay.
change the topic now, real quick?
I just want to say. one
Okay.
thing.
Wait, he wants to say one more.
Okay. I'm sorry. Go
I
ahead.
think Tick is gonna be reborn.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure.
Because
Yeah.
it'll be cool.
Okay.
Makes sense.
I like the great grandmother. What was her name? Hannah?
I don't know.
No, that was the one who
With the
was-
nice
was
wig.
a slave, right?
Oh,
Right.
yeah, I liked her.
But the one who owned the home in Tulsa,
The
that one with
Victorian
the
type
beautiful-
of thing.
I hope we see them again. Although I don't know that we will.
They're
Okay,
grown people.
new topic. Next topic. You guys ready? Everybody sit down. Everybody get ready.
Okay.
Hey, do you know anything? Okay, before I bring up this topic, do you know anything about ADOS?
We'll say no.
Okay, ADOS. All right, this is going to be interesting. African descendants of slavery. So basically,
Absolutely.
yes. Okay, right. Okay, so this is what kills me because
You don't wanna
no.
get on their bad side.
All I'm saying is this isn't bad, but it's true. Okay. I'm a black person. I love black people, but I love everybody else too, except
What
for
does
like
that mean?
raggedy white people. All I'm saying is this. We as black people do not need to be overly concerned about what jobs immigrants have and what they don't and how it compares to us. Because that's one of their things.
What does that mean?
Meaning that
They don't want
they don't want immigrants to come into the country.
and take their job.
Right. You didn't know that?
Like what jobs?
It's like jobs. in
They
general.
are.
No. I want to understand.
They are, right? Some of them are very pro build the wall.
I'm trying to find out, are we talking about they don't want people to come in and take seasonal jobs?
Do
they not want
it's just
people to
amorphous because what I've read, it's not very specific. It's
Well,
very like it's really kind of like honestly,
know.
it's kind of like black people QAnon, but not as like weird. But it's still really weird.
Mike Schreibman. Hi, Mike Schreibman. He was on there earlier and he talked about Jeffrey Toobin.
No, we're not. I thought we were talking. We're staying on this topic right
I
now.
don't want to talk about this topic.
Why?
I played a game today.
Because I think that this topic is going to get us nowhere.
It's gonna just
No, I mean, I was listen. The only reason why I brought it up is because, did you see Ice Cube during that Roland
I
Martin
saw
interview
Ice Cube.
when he was like,
And
screaming.
then I read that his so-called platinum plan is actually the plan that Kanye developed. And you want to talk about that? I don't wanna talk
Negroes in
about that.
2020.
I don't wanna talk
Listen,
about this
Kanye,
foolishness.
Ice Cube, y'all are Tyreseing extra hard right now. Okay, I need all of you all. You got a lot of money? Go buy a house. Go get on your plane and
Go
fly
get a
somewhere.
hobby.
Don't bother us
Go create
with your foolishness.
a studio and make content that people can appreciate. Go do that.
Did you hear when Roland Martin was like, no, not Roland Martin, but she had the most patience. She was a saint. I cannot remember her name, but she was in the Roland Martin interview. She's one of the founders of Black Lives Matter. She was amazing. But here, okay, two take-home points. What is that? She was like, well, there have been a lot of people across various organizations that have been working for this very aim. So why didn't you team up with any of them? And Ice Cube said, well, I've had this plan for months.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, you mean since like April? Since like the pandemic? Okay, the other thing was this at the end of the interview. So I don't know if she knew if the camera was still on her. She probably didn't care. But Ice Cube, Roland Martin's like, thank you. I forgot her name for coming on the show. And Ice Cube said his closing remarks, and then she said hers, and she was like, yeah. So she said, I really look forward to collaborating with you in the future. I was screaming. She did it twice. I was dying. Okay, so anyway, Ice Cube is wilding and he needs something to do. Next topic.
Can I say
why
a
do we
word?
have to talk about Jeffrey Toobin's
Can I say a word that ends with an A?
NASA?
Starts with an N but ends with an A.
Masa.
No.
Ends with an A.
Yeah.
Anna.
It has 2 G's in it.
You talking about nigga?
So I would like
I
to
don't know why you can't say that.
all
I couldn't
that
guess that.
as a
It's niggatry. It's niggatry.
What I refer to as a nigga please moment.
Right. It's
Right.
it's
This is a
niggatry. It's nigga please plus
it's-
ratchetry
On
plus
top of
no
that,
preparation
why-
plus you're bored and
why-
leave us alone.
And I don't want to discuss that because I don't want to give energy to that foolishness. And it actually, you can call it Thomism.
Okay.
You can call it Thomism. I don't want to participate in that.
Okay.
So let's just.
Because all right. Anyway, I just thought it was funny, honestly, when like Ice Cube was messing up during the video. Anyway, all right. So you want to talk about Jeffrey Toobin's penis? Go ahead. I don't
want to talk about his penis.
What
I want to talk about is the fact that he was on a Zoom call with colleagues for 2 of the organizations that he works for, right? New York Magazine, and it was CNN.
It's hot in here. Hold on.
And he stood up and had nothing on the bottom. And I thought my camera was off. And I can't help but wonder if these people sometimes don't end up going stir crazy.
Okay, here's the thing. Idris, get out of my chair and take off my glasses. Where's your glasses at?
In my room.
Okay, here's the thing that I just want to point out. And again, I don't know Jeffrey Toobin. Like,
I don't know him.
I don't know him at all. But I will say this.
But I think he's a good journalist.
He's a great journalist. But I'm not him. But I have to imagine that this is someone who is on Zoom calls all day long.
Like me.
Okay, but maybe, look, I don't know. I'm not trying to make excuses for the man. But like maybe he was just like, I had to use the bathroom real quick. And I slid in and I forgot. And I didn't turn the thing. Like, I've not been butt naked, but I have forgotten that I didn't stop the camera.
Who the people are who put their naked raw behinds on a seat.
Well, yeah.
Right.
But it's his seat.
I don't care.
That just means that he's nasty at his house.
Well, it means that he's nasty.
But he's freeballing. He's command. He's commandoing.
Whatever you're doing, and you put your naked private parts on very likely upholstered. See, this is why I don't like to go to people's houses and sit on upholstered chairs and couches.
All right. Well, then you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere.
Leather is a good thing because it has a barrier, right?
Maybe he had a leather chair.
And now that I know that there are people who are trying to be understanding.
Can I sit?
No.
Yes.
No.
And then get up when she comes back.
Okay. Hey guys, it's me, Dr.
Fortunately,
Imani.
she doesn't sit on it with a naked butt.
Let me turn it. I'm cute.
Get out. I mean, I don't know. You seem kind of like a prude. I'm not saying that I want to see his penis either, but I'm just like, what? I'm like, all right, like, oh, look at you. You know how many penises I've seen unwanted in my lifetime?
Do I need to know that?
Oh, well, I'm just trying to make
How many have you seen that you wanted to
hundreds.
see?
Oh, no, that I wanted to see?
Yeah, I was like, well, if there's an unwanted, then what's the flip side? The
I've seen
wanted.
4.
Penises?
Yeah.
Don't name who they
It's
are.
another story.
I don't. Okay. All right. All right.
Actually, no, there's a higher.
No, let's talk. Okay, next topic.
Well, he does have male relatives.
Next topic.
Next
all right.
topic.
Taraji P. Henson. Don't read the comments because then you're going to interrupt me.
I like reading the comments.
So do I.
Taraji P. Henson split with her fiance. Did you hear about this?
He
was really cute. I'm saying he was attractive. He was a football player. He seemed decent.
Okay.
Football players can be like,
They can be.
yeah. All right. So
can actors, by the way, and actresses.
That's fine. I don't know actors and actresses. So Taraji P. Henson split with her fiance. They hit a rough patch, and Taraji suggested therapy, which they weren't on the same page about. Kelvin Hayden, the now ex, was also noticeably missing from her 50th birthday celebration in Mexico, which I did notice because why? Because I'm in the streets. What do you do if your partner doesn't want to go to therapy with you? What are some ways to get your partner interested in therapy? I think this is a really good topic because especially when it comes to like Black people. Now, what I hear a lot, and I don't particularly do like psychotherapy. I do a lot of medication management. That's primarily what I do. But when I have, just seen things on TV, and also like when I have done therapy in the past, a lot of times what I hear from the men are, and this is assuming that the relationship is heterosexual. What I hear from the men is, well, if we go to therapy, you're just going to find somebody that's going to agree with you all the time, and then I'm going to feel bad. Okay. And then once they get there,
that's insecurity.
Well, right. Exactly. But I mean, and then the next thing I hear is, I don't want people all up in my business, which, these are both like, I'm a Black person. I completely understand that. But I think that's why it's important to, you got to communicate with your partner and be like, yo, we need to communicate. We need to be really open. I need to say some things. And it's probably better that we say these things not in our house, because that's a whole different vibe compared to when you're in a therapist's office and it's more of an objective vibe.
What happens when the person says, I don't want to go to in a therapist's office?
I don't know. Then you start looking for somebody else.
And there you find.
Okay, I was joking.
And there is Taraji P. Henson's decision.
Well, and you know what? She looks really good for 50. I mean, not that, she looks great.
Good for 40.
She looks great. She looks great. And honestly, Taraji, your ex-man was cute, but you know what? I mean, she was like, well, okay, like whatever. I mean, I'm sure she's, mad.
But I don't want to limit it to just her, because I think that there are certainly lots of people out there who have people in their lives, not even necessarily their lovers, but people in their lives with whom they are having conflict, and going into therapy could be helpful. Right? If you actually find somebody who's digging in his or her heels and saying no under no circumstances, my philosophy is, if you're going to be involved and make a decision to try to have a relationship with someone, you have to be prepared to accept that person exactly as he or she is.
Yeah, but some people don't do that. Well, some people like me,
you can't count on changing.
Some people, okay, I just want to take a quick commercial break because I've been reading a lot about codependency.
Okay.
First of all, I'm a strong, independent Black woman. Okay, that's what I came here to say. But I have been reading a lot about codependency, and it's interesting because as somebody who definitely considers herself to be independent, for somebody who no, but you all are doing the most. You all are really doing the most, okay?
Being commercial.
We're listening.
I like being involved in some topics from time to time. It's all cool.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead, Idris. It's your show. Go on ahead. Go.
Okay. I am doing pretty good in school.
Why don't you move up, Idris, so they can show you?
Congratulations.
Welcome to my show. Hi, my name's Dr. Imani. I'm cute.
Let's know what? Don't
let's talk
try.
about some
Don't do
public
it.
Figures.
You know what?
Let me turn this slightly. I'm cute.
We're about to end
Did I
this.
mention I'm cute?
I'm not.
I'm cute. Okay. Let's talk about Lovecraft Country. I'm cute.
Anyway, so listen. So as I was saying before, these two wanted to come into my house and act up.
Don't you live here?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, yeah, but you don't pay no bills or nothing.
I consider the bed.
And on the real, Idris be leaving all the lights on.
I like the lights on. It keeps the shadow features out of my soul.
Who taught him about monsters in the closet?
It's different in the closet.
You're the
No,
one
you
who
have to close the closet door or the monsters get out.
I'm gonna beat you.
You fine. Go ahead.
I mean,
Hi, thank you, Des, for loving the podcast. You know what, you guys? Hold on. You know what? I want to tell you real quick. Hi. No, I want to tell you guys real quick. Sorry. So, hold on. Why? You need to move over or something. Like, what's happening?
Well, he became you for a minute, so he's taking up some space.
Whatever. I am cute, so it doesn't matter. Jamel Hill's going to be on my podcast this week. Yeah, it's really.
I love her.
Yeah, hold on.
Why am I like?
Because you need to come over some.
Well, you're the one who moved all the way over.
I know,
there.
but I'm trying to get all of y'all on the shot.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Okay. Anyway, I forgot what we were talking about.
Jamel Hill's going to be on the show.
I know before. Okay, Jamel Hill's going to be on my show. It's really good. Oh, codependency. Okay, and this actually ties into my talk with Janelle because we both grew up with a parent or parents who had substance abuse issues. So,
not this one.
no, you just got stank abuse issues.
I'm good with that.
Anyway, so codependency. I was actually kind of surprised to find out that I have had codependency issues.
What's codependency?
Basically, it describes a condition where, due to anxiety, like there are a lot of comorbid disorders that go with codependency, such as anxiety and depression and PTSD, all of which I have. And a lot of this apparently stemmed from, all of it actually stemmed from my dad, shut up, Idris. You have stank abuse issues. But what I was surprised to know, quite honestly, is that I did not know that I have had a history of globbing onto like anybody.
Really? You didn't know that? No, seriously.
I did not. No, I just I thought it was a serial relationship.
All the times that we tried to have conversations with you and you were ignoring us, but you didn't even hear us.
You didn't say it right, so it's different. Anyway.
Well, after the podcast, we can name names.
No, actually, we're not.
Podcast.
No, well, 1 and 2, like I'm not talking about relationships I was in high school or college or after that.
Oh, or as a grown woman.
No, we're not.
Okay.
No, because I'm in therapy now. We don't have to talk about that. So anyway, but yeah, so as I was saying, me and Jamel, she's my guest this week, and we talk a lot about, like I said, like I didn't know about PTSD. I didn't know about abandonment PTSD. And I'm kind of glad for the pandemic, if only I've been really like working a lot on myself.
Let's not phrase it as glad for the pandemic. There's been a positive outcome.
It's been a positive outcome for me.
Right.
If I said it though, not on YouTube, you would be like, okay, fine. But
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, you would.
I like precision in vocabulary. I like for people to really be accurate when they're speaking about things. So I would never have said,
super cool.
I'm cool with you saying it that way.
That's fine, because I can't deal with these people. Hi. All right. So, okay, but you know what, Idris, hold on. Like, for real, like, I'm gonna move and then you go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is what, today I beat the game, the rap. And how are you guys doing? It's always nice to come here on Mondays. Yeah. Got homework
Well, Idris,
to do.
what do you hold on? Idris, what do you like about on Mondays?
I get to change my schedule, and then I get to chill, talk to the strangers online. It's cool.
What strangers online?
I don't
They're
know.
not strangers. They're like our fans and friends.
Fans and friends.
These folks.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, it's cool.
These random people.
No, when he said strangers online, I was thinking in the video games, like, what is he talking
Oh,
about?
yeah.
This is all my scary.
That's all.
Parts.
That always happens.
Okay.
And yeah, today I played the game of Wrath, and I beat chapter 2 of that game. It was pretty cool.
Okay.
School is pretty cool. And I learned that the state of California says that we can't just, get the homework and eliminate the whole online school because it's causing a lot of people to get headaches. And once people get these headaches, they're kind of out of it. I mean, like, there's a lot.
I get tired.
Yeah, people are getting tired because, I can't sit in front of a screen all day and then you tell me to do schoolwork on top of that. It's like double draining me. And sometimes I just say I'm sick because I don't want to go to school. Because I rather just be like, okay, here's
mental health day.
How many breaks do you think it would be helpful for you to have during, the day?
There's just, I don't know. I mean, it's not that there's breaks during the day. It's like days.
It's just sitting down for like hours and hours and hours. That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, I'm back to breaks because what if during the course of the first 2 hours, you had 20 minutes off. And in that 20 minutes off, you didn't sit down, but you walked around.
But that's the thing.
What?
I'm like, Idris, what are you doing? I'm like, are you in class? No. Then he's like,
still on the computer.
Still on the computer,
Yeah,
right?
that's like fun things.
No, but see,
you gotta move around.
You have to move, right? All of that sedentary stuff is just making you slug.
Like a slog off.
Right, like a slug off.
Okay, so interview time.
Okay, interview time.
Interview time.
Back to you.
No, this is you guys.
Yeah.
No,
Okay, ready?
Okay.
The Commission on Presidential Debates has approved a plan that includes muting microphones. The muting will work like this. At the start of each of the 6 segments of the debate, each candidate will be given 2 minutes to answer an initial question. During that portion, the opposing candidate's microphone will be muted. Thoughts, Idris?
I love it because this whole presidential debate, I don't understand what's happening most of the time. Otherwise, that someone is talking over the other person, and then the other person keeps on talking.
Microphone.
Like the vice presidential debate, he kept on talking, and she said thank you 5 times, and I'm like, is this supposed to be professional?
She was like, I'm speaking, so shut up.
Yeah.
Well, they're not following.
Microphone.
They're not following the traditional debate rules. So anybody, for example, who has been in debate club or whatever, that you cannot do that. These folks are running roughshod over each other because they just want to be heard, the ones who are doing that, and they're bullies. So, that's what was happening. But there comes a point where, particularly for Kamala, had she said more than one time, I am speaking, I'm not finished.
He don't care.
It would have been, black woman with an attitude. And they still said that, even though she spent most of the time when he was doing that, looking at him, looking at the moderator,
looking at the fly on top of his head.
I mean, it was all of that. So, it's, I don't know what you learn in a circumstance like that, other than somebody is going to try to bully the other.
I wasn't able to see the fly because I was busy doing algebra homework.
The fly? What?
The
fly.
Yeah.
If you watched SNL, the time after they had a skit with the 2 flies on the head.
No, okay, I'm down for muting. All right. So I don't know if you want to, the good and terrible. Hi. Have you all discussed the strained relationships between mothers and daughters, especially in the Black community?
Let's discuss it.
I don't know how I can't be a part of this.
I mean, I only have one mom. I don't really know what else.
So I was kind of going to say something like that. I will say that for as pleased as for as pleased as I am that people have said that they enjoy our conversation,
Sometimes my
of-
mom gets on my nerves. So
The numbers of
it's fine.
instances where people have said, I wish I could talk with my mom, or my mom and I have a strained relationship, or my mom and I, whatever. I will admit to being surprised by that.
Same.
I really am surprised by that. And I will also say that, I mean, there certainly are times when we get on each other's nerves.
We've had a strained relationship, me and my mom.
Right.
Hold on, let me move the.
But I think what we try to do.
It's better now. And can I say something like for real? And she's gonna get mad, but I don't really care. You know what's made it easier? The fact that I'm taking Prozac.
No, why would that make you?
Because
Yeah,
no,
it's true.
Well, yeah, no, it's true. Because I think a lot, like with my mom, which would be you, this person here. With my mom, this is one thing about codependency I discovered.
Okay, now remember, you said you didn't want to discuss this with me.
What? What? This?
Your history of codependency.
No. No.
So we're going to discuss it the way you want to define it.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
so I'm not defining it, but one aspect of codependency is that people will attempt to basically, like, let's say I'm having a conversation with someone, will attempt to cut the other person off. Like they want to, like they're trying to guess what the person's going to say, because when you have anxiety, unknowns, like even in conversations, like what are they going to say, can make you really like, uncomfortable. So anyway, one of the things I know that I have dealt with my mom is that I'm her child. I only know what it would be like to work for her or with her. So there are times when like I will try to, basically shut her down, so that I'm like, okay, that's great. Like just hurry up and say what you want so we can just keep moving.
That seems like a lot.
Huh?
That seems like a lot.
Well, so now that my anxiety is much lower, right? I can deal with her actually kind of better. Would you counterpoint, or would you like to add to that?
It's not a counterpoint. I
was joking.
It is that you not realizing that much of the time that you spend in bed sleeping, I can't talk, I got to go do whatever.
I was
next
depressed.
Thing, that's exactly right.
Yes, I know this now.
You know this now.
Yes.
But as I said a few weeks ago, living through your life like that, for me,
no, it's terrible.
Was
and
terrible.
You know what?
And
I'm sorry, Mom. I didn't go to therapy. And I didn't even consider taking medication. But you need to apologize to me for how you acted on the phone in February when I told you I was going to be taking Prozac. You were like, well, thank God.
Hallelujah. What?
I was like, you know what? Forget you then. Click. I didn't do that, but I wanted to.
Well, that's frequently. I mean, we actually have had conversations where I've asked you, so when you speak to your friends, do you have like a list of 10 to 12 complaints where the world is just miserable? And you were like, no.
Yeah.
And I said, so do you save those for me?
Probably.
And you said, well, what do you mean? And I said, well, why don't you pretend sometime that I'm your friend?
Oh, no.
Don't just don't.
How am I going to do that?
How much you wish you weren't alive.
No. Okay. Everybody stop. That is not. Oh,
I wish I was. But life is so miserable. Everything's bad.
Well, my bad for being depressed.
And it was
like, and it's not like you didn't have some sort of inkling about it.
I had much inkling about it.
Okay, so what you getting mad at me for being like miserable?
No. Here's where we're going to go back to. I owe you an apology for my reaction of thank God.
Thank God,
right?
Finally, it's about time.
And I reacted that way because you were driving home from your annual gynecologist.
No, I just went to the gynecologist.
Well, from the guy, and she detected in you, girl, you need to be on some drugs.
I mean, she was right.
Right, she was right, and that's why I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, but you said it wrong. You said it wrong.
You know what? I said it right.
You said it wrong.
However, I'm the mother. However, I said it.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying. You like, you should just pretend that I'm one of your friends. How?
No.
Explain. We are not friends. I don't give birth to my friends. I'm your mother. Well, you know what?
Why
That's
would
really
you tell him you're not?
that's really
friends?
nice though. Because you know what? Because I hear a lot of white people
It
say
isn't.
that.
Well, no. See,
I do, and I'm
but,
like, mm-mm.
but it isn't that kind of friends. You know, he's not that kind of.
No, I
friend
know,
with you.
but I'm not like I can't imagine you as my friend. Like,
When you're
like,
high,
oh, what's
my
up?
friend.
Duh.
Well, so again, there are people participating in this discussion as observers who are saying, I wish I had that kind of relationship with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had that kind of relationship with my son,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you can't turn around and say, I'm not your friend.
No, I mean, I meant it in terms of like, because when people say that, like, oh, this is my best friend, I'm like,
Well, then
that
we go,
is
and
it?
then we're gonna go hang out and party together. It isn't.
But
that.
that's kind of like,
Well, these are mostly Black people. They know better.
I know, but what I'm saying, well, my cousin posted something recently that said that, and I was like, how are you gonna be best friends with a 2-year-old?
What?
Like, sorry.
That sounds strange.
But wait.
Now I can understand having a loving, open,
There are
relationship with your parent,
for
but that's
however
not friends.
There are people for however long they have been conscious of this, have been wishing and hoping for their own child. There are people who actually wish and hope for someone to love. And that's quite possibly what she was referring to.
Who are we talking about again?
Your cousin.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
There are people who grow
I don't know
up,
if friend is the right word though.
And-
That's all I'm saying.
maybe it's not the right word, but the fact is that as we know, there are people who grow up in relationships with parents and they're not good relationships. So they hope and pray that God will send them someone to love, right?
Right.
That could be a
Which also
cliche, but
isn't like the best thing.
Well, I would say it could be a cliche, it could be not the best thing, but the fact is that these people are still looking for love, which is always good.
Well, here's a question. How was your relationship? I mean, obviously your relationship with your parents was much longer than my relationship with you because they're older.
Right.
But how was your relationship with your parents?
It was very
Jamaican.
It was very Jamaican. And that's probably a bad way to say it. But
No. I'm saying like, but I
very-
think people who know that
Well,
can understand what that
It's
means.
like a few weeks ago when we talked about it and I said I wasn't encouraged to have an imagination. It kind of freaked you out.
Yeah.
And I would say to you, there are probably a number of people who, if asked to put it into words, would put it into words that maybe not that way because they aren't expressing it that way. But if it's that you have things to accomplish, you have things to get done. Why are you running around here with a towel on your head pretending that it's hair?
It's hair because
Or
it's
why
fun.
are you running around here with a towel draped around your shoulders pretending it's a cape?
Because it's fun.
Well, I get it. I let you do all of that and I didn't try to discourage you. But if what you get all the time is, girl, sit down and get a book to read, or you get side eye all the time, that is not being encouraged to have an imagination.
That's what happened to you? I don't know. I wasn't there.
I was there.
You were not
In
there.
spirit.
Tell me if you think that based upon what you've seen, not just how she treated you, but based upon how you've seen your grandmother live and act and behave, if you thought that I spent most of my time running around my house giggling and laughing and jumping off of beds and leaping from chair to chair and taking watches and put them in circles and say it's a cake, you tell me how much tolerance there would have been.
Well, I will say this. I think that probably grandma, who did deal with some mood issues in her life,
and
probably
mental illness.
Right, she was bipolar, but like bipolar depressed. She really was never manic. She was either really irritable or like really sad. No, I would say that based upon what I know about people who do have bipolar disorder and people as they get older, I mean, she was always pretty irritable, but I think that, when you're younger, your irritability is much higher. So
what does that mean?
Meaning that when you were younger, yes, she probably was like, if you stop running around here trying to pretend that the towel is your hair.
Oh, you mean when she was in her 40s?
Yeah, or
Okay.
right. What I'm saying, when you were little.
She was in her 40s.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what
I'm trying, when you say younger, not only for me,
I meant younger for
a parent.
compared to, like, for you, she was young because you were young. Right? That's what I'm saying.
For me, my mother was one of the oldest mothers
Oh.
in our group. I was born when she was 34 years old.
I had a friend though whose parents were like in their like 50s and 60s.
That's a lot happening a lot these days, but didn't happen a whole lot.
Yeah, I was like, damn, your parents is old.
Right.
I was like, who's your grandparents?
How old was I when you were born?
You say
23.
3, but I think it's 24.
You say 31, but I think it's 31.
Yeah.
I just turned 31 when I had you.
Yeah.
You know what? Thank you, Teresa. I do believe that my son's going to be an awesome, thoughtful, genuine gentleman. I do.
I am.
So do I.
I really did. I mean, I really did take time before I actually had Idris to decide like what kind of parent I wanted to be, like what I wanted to talk about. You know, what I'd be willing to talk about, which is, I mean, pretty much everything. There's really nothing that I'm like, ugh, no. Because to me, that's very similar. I know everybody has their barometer in terms of like what's appropriate to discuss with your parents. Like I don't curse in front of my mom, but I will say free balling because it's funny and it makes her uncomfortable. When it comes to my son, to me, if I was like, oh, I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to talk. That's so disgusting. That to me is basically tantamount to, you know, stifling somebody's creativity and imagination. So me and Idris talk about like everything.
So my husband is an artist and came from a family very different from my family. They laughed, they talked, they played football.
It was very strange when I first went over there. I was like, why are you all so nice?
They're all, I mean, they're all very friendly and loving. And even though my mother-in-law and father-in-law passed, you know, they left a legacy of understanding. I said to my mother-in-law once, which reduced her to tears, and I didn't expect it to do that, but I understood why she was touched. I said to her that watching her, I knew how to be a grandmother.
You're saying from Flo?
From Flo,
yeah.
From my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, we didn't really have like really good examples in our family.
Well, I didn't have grandmothers around, number one.
Well,
I didn't have grandfathers. I didn't have any.
Well, you did, but then like she wasn't really around.
No, I didn't meet my grandmother. I didn't meet either of them till I was 13 in Jamaica. And they were both not
off. They were off. Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
My father's mother. But I think that you know, my father, who never threw a ball with us, never played catch, the most we would get like for Jamaican Independence Day is, you know, maybe he would, you know, do calypso dance, but that's with the crowd and everything. And
he was emotionally
very guarded. But they all kind of tried to shower whatever emotions and affection they had on Imani. She's the one who mostly was the recipient of that. And it was odd watching them. I was pleased, but it was odd watching them do that.
I'm sure, because it's odd when you want to come over here and do Idris's nails.
I give him manicures to keep his nails not jagged and not filthy because he's a boy.
Well, no, me and Idris used to go get our nails done together, but that's different now.
Oh yeah.
And that's why God made manicure sets.
I know, but I haven't done all of that in a long time.
Well, you know, so
okay. Anyway,
the grooming aspect of life is where I'm.
It's really very important.
I'm really good at doing that. Your grandmother did it for you.
Yes.
Right.
It's the generational thing.
And I'm doing it for him.
Fine.
But I'm saying that it saddens me when I think about the numbers of people who don't have good relationships with their parents. And trust me, I understand how it happens because, you know, I had at various points in my life, I had some pretty stern words with my parents. So that,
there was a time when it's funny to me to say this because I was there, and it sounds so like oxymoronic, if that's a word. I think it is.
Mhm.
But there was a time when we lived in New York, when I was in high school, and we so we stayed in one brownstone, right? And the brownstone next to ours, our family also owned. So my grandmother lived next door. So my mom and my grandmother for like a significant period of time, like didn't talk to each other. So we would go to Sam's Club in Jersey. And then my mom would like, but this was like total Jamaicanness. They're not speaking, but we go to Sam's Club. My mom would like set aside
I buy all of her
groceries for my grandma, and I would walk down my stoop and then walk up the stoop next door to give my grandma her groceries.
My mother, as my daughter said, was bipolar.
She was a lot.
My mother would become violent.
Yeah, she was.
Okay.
Like
and violent, not just towards the person she's speaking
everybody
to, but also towards herself. So what I knew was that we triggered each other, right?
Right.
And the best circumstance for, at that point, my 70-something-year-old mother was to put distance between us. So I physically did not go near her, but that didn't mean that I didn't love her or I was going to stop taking care of her or fulfilling my responsibilities to my mother. That was never going to happen.
Right. But can I say something? And I think that's why, I mean, amongst a multitude of factors, that when I was growing up, I'm not going to get into all of this right now, but yeah, like a lot of families are dysfunctional, and you see things that when you're a kid, and I'm sure whatever you saw as a kid paled in comparison to what I saw. But when you're a kid, you start to learn how to form relationships and treat other people based upon what you see. And so that's why it's been really difficult for me to sustain certain relationships, and not just romantic ones, like even ones with like, friends, because I didn't really get a very good roadmap of like how to be a really good friend, or that type of thing. So I mean, I'm a good friend, but I also have a tendency to this is another codependency characteristic. I've also, because I'm a doctor and I'm basically someone who takes care of other people, even though it's weird to hear me say, I have been the person who has actually like put other people's like needs before mine, because because it's a good distraction, and it means that I don't have to deal with my stuff. So, but what I was saying is
that's been going on for a long time,
right? And but what I was saying before that is that I think seeing you and grandma's relationship, not that it was bad, not that it was like, oh God, please, but I think it definitely, I mean, some people can say, well, I was exposed to a lot when I was younger, and it was terrible, blah, blah, blah. Everything I saw wasn't great, but that's why I was saying a little while ago, when I was pregnant, I really was like, okay, here's what I want to do. Here's what I want to do. Here's what I want to, I want to say I love you all the time. I want to give him mad hugs. I want to talk to him about everything. Like I basically like charted it out.
Does she say I love you all the time?
Yeah.
Does she give you mad hugs?
Yeah.
All good.
We
See?
talk about everything.
My mother told me I love you for the first time when I was 34 years old.
What was it? What did it have to do with though?
Well, that same thing about shopping, right? Buying her groceries.
Mm-hmm.
Her sister, Aunt Hyacinth, had moved from Jamaica. We finally got her living in the United States.
Oh, Aunt Hyacinth.
Mm-hmm. And they were living in
the cloisters?
Right, up in the cloisters part of Manhattan. And I had taken to their apartment, all kinds of groceries and stuff, because I did all this grocery shopping for them.
Well, because you always did grocery shopping for them.
And my mother started sending me to the A&P 3 blocks away by myself when I was 8 years old.
Yeah,
with the money and the list to buy stuff, because she did not go outside.
She sent us to Pioneer, but that was 3 of us, and I was like 5
by myself.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
But it wasn't. She didn't. She didn't like being
she was
outside.
agoraphobic. Yeah,
and she didn't like the way the men looking at her when she was outside. So go there, and then Howard, my brother, would meet me maybe 20 minutes later to help me carry the groceries home.
Right.
So. But I will say that on Hyacinth, I unloaded the groceries, helped them put everything away, sat and visited for a while and all the above. And as I was leaving, Aunt Hyacinth said, "Bye, Paula, I love you." And my mother's face was on fire. She looked at her sister. Now, by the way, they have the same mothers,
different fathers. But Grandma used to really kind of terrorize on Hyacinth.
She terrorized everybody.
Yeah, but I was like, Grandma, you need to chill.
She was 4 years older than her and used to send money to Jamaica and take for all kinds of stuff for her.
Right.
And on Hyacinth, sweetest,
she was so sweet,
kind, so loving. "Bye, Paula, I love you." And when she said that to me, it didn't make me smile. I had like the hairs on the back of my neck stood up because I knew
what was coming.
My mother was having none
a conniption fit.
No, it was like, "You said what to my daughter?" Those words never came out of her mouth.
But that's what
her entire body was like, and I thought to myself, oh my God, she's going to kill Aunt Hyacinth in this apartment once I leave.
But can I say something else? Codependency.
I'm going to finish what
okay,
happened,
sorry.
Right? So I am sure she took Aunt Hyacinth apart. The next time I went there, which was probably less than a week later, as I am leaving, my mother says,
"Oh my God,
I love you." And I
was like, huh? Like, who are you talking to? What? Oh, you are petty, Grandma.
I was like,
"Can you go get my mother for me, please? Because you have been body snatched." Stop. What'd you do, though? Were you like, all right, then? Like, just slid out like...
Well, listen, there are some things that actually, take your breath away.
That's what I'm saying.
This wasn't oh, I'm so happy. It was, oh, you mad and it's a competition.
Right.
You mad and how dare she tell your daughter, "I love you." You tell your daughter, but by the way, that's probably the first and last time because that phrase was used as a weapon.
Yeah.
Like, "I love you."
I knew it. In a moment, in a flash, I knew exactly what that was. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Say, "Yeah, Ma, I love you too." And then I, of course, I always kiss them goodbye. But it was like I left there and it was like, oh,
God. Right.
Let me just go out into the sunshine and have some warmth come down on my face.
In the cloisters.
I need to escape this. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't want to really like dwell on this topic, but I guess what I'm saying is I didn't always, let me take my glasses off. I didn't know really what to do when it came to like, because here's the other thing. We used to move around a lot. So there would be times where I'd be at a school for a year or 2 years, and then we would move, or I'd be at a school for 3 months, then I would move. So I would,
because of my job.
Right. So I was really good at like being friendly and everybody liked me. But in terms of like, what do I do past 2 years? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
But still, you stay in touch with folks from Houston.
I do.
Right.
I do.
So, I mean, one of the things I used to describe you as is, because we moved so often, you were able to make friends with people, but you also would very frequently become like the class leader. You would take it over because,
of course,
because why?
Imani Walker.
Because what did you? Because
I'm Imani, y'all aren't. So
right. I mean, I really did create a monster with telling her this at a very early age.
No, I'm just.
You know what? Yesterday I was on this
Oh
interview.
my God, glasses.
Slight change of subject. Yesterday I was on this interview, and there was a brother. So
interview for what?
So this documentary is coming out, and it's called "But You Don't Look Black."
Oh,
okay, but you don't look black.
You look black,
and it's done by this Chinese Trinidadian Canadian Danielle Ayow.
Okay.
Ayow, and it's being shown by the Boston Asian American Film Festival. So it'll be coming up. So they recorded, and she interviewed me.
You mean as a counterpoint to, oh, you look very black?
No. She interviewed me because of Finding Samuel, or because of my documentary where
I know. I'm explaining
I'm explaining that why. So what was really interesting yesterday in this discussion, there's a Chinese American woman who's the film festival director who was born in Zimbabwe, right? So she's African, right?
Pause. There's a Caribbean spot in Brooklyn named Imani. I did not know. Thank you, Charlene. You may proceed.
Oh, okay. So this sister, Chinese American, moved to the United States when she was, I don't know, like 10,
Right.
but born in Zimbabwe.
Okay.
So, and lived in Zimbabwe. So she has an African culture.
Right.
Right.
She's African.
Right.
American.
And she looks Chinese because she's Chinese.
Right.
Danielle looks Chinese, born in Trinidad. So, she's going back to, for Carnival
Mm-hmm.
and has on all the costumes
Right.
and everything, and is getting all kinds of side eye, like
What do they call people in Jamaica? Miss
Chin.
Yeah, sorry.
Miss Chin.
I didn't know if they did that in Trinidad too, but
So to get to the point, so there was another person in the discussion who is Black Trinidadian mixed with Indian, which is the predominant
Right.
Asian
right.
group in
in
Trinidad.
Right.
And as we were winding up the conversation, he said, well, no, and imposter syndrome, as we've all had it. And everybody starts nodding. And I wait till they have that discussion. And I said, so listen, I just need to say that I only learned about imposter syndrome maybe
Like 2 years ago. Yeah, I know what that
And I
meant.
said, and I will tell you that I don't recall
ever
having
feeling
had
like that.
And they kind of looked at me and I said,
Why? I'm dope. Like
I
I know a
don't-
lot of things. Like why do I ever feel like I'm an imposter?
like, I don't really belong
Belong?
here, and somebody's going to find out that I'm not qualified nor capable, and then the game is like blown. It's like, no. And I said to them, understand that when you say that you feel that you're living with imposter syndrome, that's insecurity. That is
Right.
complete and total insecurity. So one of them said, well, said, well, someday, you'll be able to describe yourself as a filmmaker. To Danielle, this was her first film. And I waited for them to talk. And I said, so let me clear something up. It's called filmmaker, not films
Ooh,
maker.
semantic.
So the first time you make a film, you are in fact a filmmaker.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody said it takes 100 films in order for you to be called a filmmaker.
Right.
It takes holding a statuette called an Oscar to be an Academy Award winner.
Right.
But a whole lot of people don't have those, and they're still filmmakers.
You
So-
said you're a what? A film what?
You're a filmmaker. You're not an Oscar winner, but
Right,
you are
but you're saying you told her I'm a film auteur. What'd you say? Film somebody?
filmmaker, not a films maker. I made one film.
Oh, that's just grammatically wrong though.
Well, conceptually, understand what I'm saying. If you write a book and your book is published,
I'm a bookmaker.
you're an
obviously.
author. You are called an author. It isn't that you have to sell 10 books
No, you're right.
and reach the bestseller list before you're called an author.
No, you don't.
Right. So what I'm saying is that there are people who listen to other folks, put these other levels of demands, hoops to jump through. And until you jump through that hoop, then you know what? You're not really a this, and that's how you end up succumbing to this bull crap of imposter syndrome.
Just say it, because that doesn't even sound right.
Well, whatever.
Well, crap,
So anyway,
And so I started out early on telling you that people would be jealous, and that's why they wouldn't want to be your friend when they said, ooh, like the little white girl, oh, your skin's dirty.
Like,
And she kicked you.
I'm like, well, your whole body's dirty now.
I
I
was
kicked
like-
you in the dirt, stupid. So hi, I'm getting a little hungry. My blood sugar's dropping. I would like to eat. It's 6:09 out here in LA. Thanks everybody for joining us. Tonight, me and Idris are going to watch a documentary about, it's called King Leopold's Ghost, about Congo.
Wait, who's starring in that one?
No, it's a
Oh,
documentary.
it's a documentary.
I
But
watched
the
it last
person who
week and it
played
was,
King Leopold. Wasn't that Forrest Whitaker?
no, Mom, King Leopold is white.
He's dead.
Belgium.
Oh yeah,
The
he
cake,
killed
the
all
African cake.
He killed all the.
Yeah, no, you're talking about
Yeah, it's okay.
King of Scotland. I
Yeah.
forgot what it was. Anyway, listen, if you guys have some time, you guys really, really, really need to read up on Congo and what Belgium did to it and what, like, why it's still the way that it is now.
Oh.
It's wild. Like, you wouldn't eat, like, I mean, I knew the depths of depravity that, you know, what I knew what Europeans would do to, like, you know, enslave peoples. But listen, I was like, it's a lot. It's a lot. At one point, I'm just going to say this. At one point, there's like a generation of people who are missing one of their hands because, so real quick story. King Leopold, terrible person. He goes, like, basically claims, he claimed Congo for Belgium and owned it essentially. Went around, you know, snatching up property from chiefs that they didn't know I didn't even know what a signature was supposed to, like, connote. Anyway, King Leopold, Congo was making so much money because of the natural resources that he was actually outspending himself and ended up, like, you know, like having a lot of debts around the beginning of the 20th century. So then they discovered, then bicycle came out and automobiles came out, and they discovered like rubber stock prices were like crazy. So where do they have all this rubber? In the Congo. How does rubber grow? On vines at the very top of the jungle canopy. These people, there's a whole generation of people with broken backs from falling. Also, when these people would gather rubber, you can't put it anywhere. Like it hardens, like you get the sap and then it hardens. They were spreading the rubber on their chests. And then when they would finally get back down to the ground to, like, make their quota, they'd have to rip the rubber off of their skin. Right? Now, back to the hands. A lot of these people, there's a generation of people with like one hand, or like they're missing a hand and missing a foot, because if they didn't meet the quota for rubber for the day, right, they would dismember them. And also they would dismember them if you have to, like, cut the rubber vine, like you have to slice it. If you cut it in half, it'll die. So they would also, like, you know, disfigure and dismember them for that too. Anyway.
So you're talking about the Belgians, and I just want to tell you that the Belgians are also responsible for the genocide in Rwanda. And that all that was going on.
John Cheadle narrated part of the documentary, and he was in that Hotel Rwanda movie that I haven't seen yet because it just seems so really sad.
It's very, but the Hutu and the Tutsi, remember those two tribes?
Yes.
There is no such tribes. Those were created by the Belgian people, and I can't remember which is which.
Oh, they created the Tutsi and the Hutu? And like from where? Like from thin air?
If you and I are in the same family and one of us is tall and thin, then I can't remember which, but let's say you would be Hutu.
Okay.
Right. And if you were rounder and more corpulent,
right, I do remember this.
And you were in the same family, and they gave special privileges
to the tall
thin ones because they said they were more European in their body shape. So what you had then was they turned families, people against each other.
Uh-huh.
I went to, when I was in Rwanda.
This is crazy.
When I was in Rwanda, they took us to a genocide
site. When were you in Rwanda?
I've been to Rwanda.
Fine.
They took us to a genocide site. It was a Catholic church.
Mm-hmm.
And we went into this church, which was like, you know, an open, you know, not many walls, right? So it's an open area church. And all the pews had clothes on
Tutsis
them.
Are tall and thin.
Okay, the Tutsis are tall and thin. So they had clothes all over them, right? And it was very confusing. Like, what am I looking at here? What we were looking at was a shrine left like that. And that indicated all the people who had been massacred that at a particular mass, right?
You mean Catholic church?
They were in a church and they were shot and killed, and the clothes of the people who died were left there on the seats. We went downstairs, some stairs under the church. Hang on. Let me just tell you.
Okay.
Lined up on all of these shelves, like bookshelves,
mm-hmm.
were thousands of bones,
Right.
skulls,
I think I've heard
femurs,
of that. Yeah.
These were the remains of the people who had been murdered upstairs.
So they took their bodies downstairs and left their clothes?
What they did was, somewhere along the line, they decided that they were not going to have a mass grave,
burial, right.
right? So this was a shrine to them. Now, if you think about St. Patrick's Cathedral with the bones of so-called saints and whatever.
Ew, that's gross.
Well, when the church is named after
listen,
Saint
I'm not
Catherine,
Catholic. I don't know
when the
anything
church
about
is named after
what they
Saint
be
Catherine
doing.
or Saint Martin or Saint whatever,
They put their bones in there?
frequently there's a piece of the
Ew.
bone in the church, and yes. So
That's not,
the Belgians,
I mean, honestly, that sounds kind of like
the Belgians are
pagan.
Catholics. It's a Catholic nation.
Sounds pagan.
And many of the people who perpetuated this between the Hutus and the Tutsis were the Roman Catholic priests.
Oh yeah, I
Right.
mean,
Right?
yeah.
So
Okay.
so conceptually, when you're talking about, the King Leopold, this is where
They learned.
this is coming from.
Oh yeah. No,
Pope Alexander VI, who was one of the Borgias, Lucretia and Cesare Borgia,
yeah. The
poisoning
show.
and all the
I
stuff.
don't know. Some show.
So they had children. These popes.
Yeah,
had
they were.
children.
Yeah.
And they decided, Alexander VI decreed, I believe it was in 1494 or somewhere around there,
Mhm.
that for the entire world, if the inhabitants of a particular land were not Catholics,
Yeah.
then the Italians,
Would have sex with them.
no,
I'm just kidding.
the Italians had the right to colonize and explore this portion of the world. I'm sorry, not the Spanish and the Portuguese. They divided the world into the Portuguese at this part, the Spanish at that part. And what you saw in 1492 with Christopher Columbus, who was Italian,
Right.
he sailed in the name of who?
The Spanish king and queen.
Ferdinand and Isabella of Spain, who were empowered by the Pope to go out and conquer.
And act a fool, right.
And conquer people. And by the way, as I was telling all the kids on Idris's 13th birthday party, Zheng He, Zhenghe, the Chinese explorer, was exploring centuries before Columbus, but the Chinese philosophy is not to go out and conquer lands and capture people.
Yeah, no.
They saw.
No, that was a European
Here's
phenomenon.
a giraffe. Look, here's a giraffe.
Right.
Can we trade with you for a giraffe?
Yeah, exactly.
And we want to take
Giraffes
it back
are
to
awesome.
the court.
My
Oh,
favorite
a
animal.
zebra. Can we?
Right.
That's what they were
Also,
doing.
here's some tea and rice.
It's a menagerie.
I like this. You might like it too. Okay.
It's such a different.
One last thing I want to say. So this is okay. So I don't know if Brandon, if you can put it up. I just emailed it. I mean, texted it to you. It's called King Leopold's Ghost. It's on Amazon Prime. So y'all, remember Rumble in the Jungle? What was his name? He was the quote unquote president, but he was a dictator. I don't want to say Mobutu, I think. Mobutu. So he was instilled as president by the I think the United States and maybe Belgium.
Backed by
Helped
him in the coup.
Right, because the US was very involved in the assassination of Patrice Lumumba, who was the first prime minister, right? Okay, so blah, blah, blah. Rumble in the Jungle, da-da-da-da. So if you all remember Rumble in the Jungle, he was the, king dude who always had like the little leopard, little like Burger King hat on. Right.
Yeah.
So end of the movie, right? So here we go. So at one point, this man took so much money from Congo itself, like that the government could not run. Like they had a government shutdown because he took so much money. So this is where we get into self-hatred. Ready? Okay. Now, King Leopold II of Belgium was the person who basically raped this entire region. Okay. When he died, he had like $4 billion in today's money, let's say. When Mobutu died, he had about 2 to 3 billion. Mobutu and Leopold were both buying up all these villas all over the place. In the south of France, I think this might be on like Côte d'Azur, maybe. So from Mobutu's villa, you could see right across King Leopold's villa. It was like down the street.
Cohorts.
I was like, this is disgusting. This is disgusting. Can I pin it? Can I pin the name of the documentary? Hold on. There you go. It's right there. Oh, can I put it in the comments? I can't put in the comments, but maybe Brendan, you can.
King Leopold, Leopold, apostrophe S, King Leopold's Ghost.
Yeah.
It's on Amazon Prime.
It was wild.
Watch
I mean,
it.
it was wild because I think, you know, a lot of times because we really don't know our history, and because, you know, we're like, oh, well, that happened a long time ago. I mean, we still act like history isn't going to repeat itself, but I'm trying to tell y'all, if you want to get a lot of information and kind of be mad, but also be like, I mean, it's very engaging. I was really
you have to
taken aback.
You have to educate yourself, and you have to educate your
other
children.
people.
It's the, you know, that phrase, if you don't know, you are doomed to
repeat it.
Right. You're doomed to repeat the past, meaning the past mistakes.
Right.
Or the past errors. And so, what are we seeing happen now? Some people call it Nazism.
Yeah, honestly, it feels like the 60s out here, and I wasn't even there. But
the 60s were not like this.
What was I mean?
Well,
it was worse. I mean, it's worse now or worse then?
In the 60s, most of what you had in terms of the murder and the lynching and all that other stuff was happening in the South.
Right. Now it's like everywhere.
And you would hear about it, right? What we're seeing now is up south, cross south, west south, north,
California,
south.
Palmdale, all over the place.
It's everywhere.
It is.
It's everywhere. And there's evidence of it. There's video. You can watch it.
Right.
And
but it's the same outcome.
Yeah.
Anyway, on that note, I hope you guys have a lovely evening.
Well,
I hope you guys have a lovely evening.
I think we have to end on some kind of a hopeful.
I
voted. Did you vote?
I voted already. Okay, time out. Voting in California is like preparing for the AP exam. Like I had like 2 different documents I had to cross-check, then I had to look up. I mean, but it really does make
it's research.
It's very, you got to really know what's
between the local elections and all of the
propositions. And then one of them I voted no for because even though it sounded good, it wasn't like they're giving you a synopsis, like the actual proposition got all kinds of things in it. And you have I voted no on it because they need to go back and rewrite it.
Right.
It's a mess.
I did.
It's a mess.
It isn't that in concept you think it's bad,
right?
But it's not a well-written
bill. The one about the dialysis things.
So the dialysis one, I voted no.
Yeah, you have to vote no.
You got to vote no.
Because here's the thing, in a nutshell, quick synopsis.
That's outrageous.
So there are 2 main dialysis companies, Fresenius and Vita, like Dia Vita. I can't remember the other one. Anyway, these 2 companies basically. Most dialysis centers in this country are owned by one of either of them. So that being said, in California, they want to pass a proposition, which essentially would mean that the way it's written, it says, hey, you know what? Dialysis centers, we think it would be great if we had a doctor, if there was a doctor there at every center, because who doesn't want a doctor in a dialysis center? Because what if something happens? Okay, but here's the thing that you got to know, right? As a doctor, dialysis centers, pretty much there's really never any like emergencies, right? I mean, you would think so because the person's getting their blood taken out of their body, filtered and put back. But they're doing this like multiple times a week, like 3 times a week. Yes, DaVita. Thank
experts.
You. Right. They know what they're doing. The other thing is that because the dialysis treatment is run by these 2 companies, it's basically like a monopoly. They make a lot of money. So if they were going to put a doctor into each dialysis center, right, what would happen is the costs would go up. It would go right up. And right. And who has diabetes most? We do. Okay. And brown people too. That being said, okay. And it doesn't specify what kind of doctor it would be.
Any doctor.
It'd be anybody. It'd be a dentist. I don't know that, but it could be any doctor. So basically, I voted no on that proposition. I think it's 23. I think it's 23.
I'll look it up.
but because it's not written well, and it's like
there's no need
there's
for
no
it.
need for it. It's kind of like when you're in like as a doctor, they taught us in med school, like if you're going to order a test or labs, you better know exactly what you're looking for, because it's going to be a waste of money and time.
Vote no on 23.
Vote no on 23. You can do your own, research, but there are emergencies and dialysis centers, but that's what 911 is for. I'm saying you're going to drive up the price.
Also, there's one other one that's really important, which is returning affirmative action as a consideration.
I heard Asians were involved in that back
Chinese.
then.
It's largely some very, very conservative Chinese.
Y'all are
Republicans
tripping, okay?
Who don't want, they first of all maneuver to get affirmative action taken out of consideration for laws and education in California.
Because they believe they're the model
So
minority.
now Proposition 16 would return it.
Yes.
And I
voted yes
on Proposition 16. And I'm part of a coalition of multiracial, multicultural coalition that has, including a lot of Chinese organizations, Chinese American organizations, saying yes on 16. When affirmative action was allowed, I believe the statistics are like statewide, Asian Americans got 10% of government, got 30% of government contracts. Now, without it, they're getting 10%. And there is a mistaken belief that if affirmative action were put in place, that people of Asian descent would have fewer spaces in state universities, et cetera.
That's not true.
So not true.
That's not true.
So not true.
That's not true. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know that we're supposed to be doing advocacy stuff.
I mean, but, I'm just telling you how I voted, because it took me like an hour to vote, like for real. Like I had my computer, I had my phone, I printed something out, I had my actual ballot. I was like, hold up, I got to make sure I vote right for this. Like it really was like taking like a test. Anyway. On that note, please make sure and vote. Please make sure that if you got a absentee ballot or a mail-in home ballot, that you return it. It's very important. Vote for BLM. Vote for the person that supports BLM, actually.
You know who sent me these? I don't remember her last name, but Ming Ming, a Chinese American woman in Seattle.
These are nice though. Look, they got the little, like, you see little flap things. I never had this before. I'm gonna take this one.
She created a foundation, Ming Ming Tung Edelman.
Yo. And
she created this.
This mask is mad good. I like this mask. It is.
She created this organization in a nonprofit in Seattle. And they make these, and they've been donating the money and making more masks. And she said to me, "Thank you, Paula. We made extra vote masks after a big project. We're happy to supply free vote masks up to 25. Let me know where you think would be good." Hold up.
Everybody, were your mask. Were your mask.
What is that?
See, it was on my Instagram.
Oh my God.
Were your mask. Everybody, wear your mask.
So thank you, Ming Ming Tung Edelman, for sending these to me. And I don't know that there's enough time for me to tell you where to send more masks, but I appreciate these.
Well, you'll get the information and then we'll have it next time. Because I'm really hot and I'm really hungry and I have to go.
All of that.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.